Brands and the Future of Africa. I need to start from there. This is Brands and the Future of Africa, a signature curation that we launched last year. And this particular curation is an opportunity for us to make an attempt, actually, to show young Africans, majorly, young Africans, entrepreneurs, business leaders, to show them the impact of brands on Africa as a continent, right? And what is the role that brands are going to play in the future of Africa? And when I say the future of Africa, I mean the prosperity of the continent. When I say the future of Africa, I mean where the world is going and what Africa, the role that Africa has to play in it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about countdown. I'm not talking about time just coming and saying tomorrow is tomorrow. I'm talking about the purpose of Africa as a continent. The purpose of Africa as a continent. That's what I'm talking about. And the theme for this year's edition is disruptions, codes for future relevance. Disruptions, codes for future relevance. I'm going to be making an attempt to show you some of the critical disruptions that are happening right now globally, right? I'm going to be showing you the things you need to know and how you can position for the future that is right ahead of us. That's what I'm going to be showing you. And that's why we're having this conversation today. My name is Nuel Peters. Let me make an attempt to just introduce myself. Okay, my name is Nuel Peters, and my friends call me the Global Brand Visionary, GBV for short, right? I'm a brand consultant, I'm a business strategist, disruption right now. What I'm going to tell you about these disruptions is not something that is going to happen in the future. I'm not telling you something that is going to happen tomorrow or something that is going to be that is happening yesterday or something that has happened yesterday. I'm going to be telling you about the disruptions that are happening right now, right before us, okay? And we are seeing the old rules that govern trust, the old rules that govern visibility, the old rules that govern economics and power are being rewritten in real time. Real time. These rules are being changed in real time, right before us. Okay, the systems that once determine who gets seen, who gets trusted, and who gets rewarded are being fundamentally I'm just going to dive in because of the 9 people who have said they agree. So I believe the 10% will join us, but I believe you guys are all in agreement for that. So I'm going to dive straight in. 9 critical disruptions that are happening right now. That's what we're talking about for the next few minutes. 9 critical disruptions that are happening right now. And I need you to pick a pen, okay? I need you to write. I need you to take down all the things I'm going to be saying, okay? Because when you write, it helps your memory, okay? It helps your memory. So make sure you write so that you can follow through, okay? 9 critical disruptions. The first disruption is what I call the collapse of institutional trust. The collapse of institutional trust. People now trust creators more than they trust corporations. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's one of the things that is happening right now. When was the last time you engaged a company's post and it was not because of somebody? When was the last time? You can't even remember. If I ask you now to talk about the accounts you follow on social media, the first 5 to 10 people that are going to come to your mind are people, not corporations, not organizations, right? People now trust creators more than they trust corporations, okay? People now trust individuals more than they trust institutions. Okay? The reason why you're buying from certain businesses, the reason why you are listening to what certain organizations are saying right now is because of the people that actually champion those brands. The people that champion those brands. People trust people now and not organizations. It's crazy. Take a look at this. Let me show you some stats very quick. This is Vusi Tembekwayo. I know you guys know Vusi. Everybody knows Vusi. On Instagram, Vusi has a total of 2.3 million followers. Can you see that? 2.3 million followers. And I know many of you may not even know this, but then Vusi has a company called My Growth Fund. It's a venture capitalist firm. They fund businesses and all that. And let's see how many followers My Growth Fund has on Instagram. And this is it. A whooping 831 followers. Look at the gap. Look at the gap. And they say something. Let me show you 1 or 2 more. And let me show you this. This is Elon Musk, right? The guy taking us to space. Elon Musk has 240.1 million followers on Twitter. Now, let's see how many followers Twitter has. That's X now, yeah? How many followers does X has on its own platform? 60.9 million followers. You know, when I was preparing the notes, I just had a joke in my mind, and I said I was going to give it to you guys. And this is the joke. The joke is that Elon Musk cracked the algorithm of X, but X couldn't crack his own algorithm. You should find that funny. X could not crack its own algorithm, right? 60.9 million followers. Now, let's look at SpaceX. That's another company being built by Elon Musk. SpaceX has 41.7 million followers. 41.7 million followers. Tesla has 24.8 followers. 24.8 million followers. Now, there's something I saw while I was doing this. Let me show you. If you try to aggregate the total followership of these three companies, even though they're in their millions, it's not even up to 70% of the total number of followership Elon has. That signals something, right? That is to tell you that people are following people more than they are following companies, right? Let me show you this. This is Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates has 12.1 million followers on Instagram, and Microsoft has 4.5. So you can see the pattern. The pattern is everywhere. But then let me show you a few guys. How many of you know this guy, right? I'm sure in your mind the name came up. That's Alex Hormozi, right? What's the name of his company? Many of us don't even know. How many of you know this woman or lady? This is Cody Sanchez, right? You guys have been seeing Cody's videos on Instagram and all that, right? But do you know the name of Cody's company? Not so many people do. How many of you know this man? Yeah, that's Femi Lazarus. Okay, Declassified Podcast. How many of you know this guy? Now, I put this guy just for to make us smile and make us laugh, because if you are a resident in the city of Abuja and you don't know this guy, you probably live indoors. You don't go out. This is Ambassador Lawrence Oloche, Promised Land Estates. But why did I aggregate these people? This is to show you that many of these people actually represent their organizations. These are founders of companies, right? These are leaders of organizations that are actively showing up out there. This Promised Land Estate guy is on almost every billboard in the city of Abuja, right? Now, this is the thing you need to see. And it is the fact that leaders, CEOs, founders, more than ever before, are now becoming the face of companies and building audiences. They are building large followings. Imagine Elon Musk have up to 240 million followers. That's a founder of a business. That's a CEO. Okay? That says something, and it's something we need to pay attention to. That's a critical disruption that you need to pay attention to. Okay? How many of you know this guy? This is Eric Gugwa. His content started circulating a few years ago, and now he's holding Beyond Convention, which is one of his signature curations that he's doing right now. Beyond Convention. I'm going to show you one guy. How many of you know this guy? That's Opeyebi Adeshina. Many of you didn't even know he had a company until he had maybe accrued like thousands of followers. Okay? And what does this tell us? This tells us that the era of faceless brand building is weakening very fast. I've seen a lot of founders in my line of work. I've met a lot of CEOs, a lot of founders, and I've seen the appetite for quiet building. You know, I want to be on the background. I don't want to be known. I don't want anybody to know my name. You know, that's good for tax. When you're a billionaire, you don't want the tax man to know you. Okay? It's not even possible, but then you guys know what I'm saying. But you want to build silently because of many reasons. You don't want people to know you have money. In fact, I like to call it the village people factor. Okay? You are building silently because you don't want your village people to know you have made it. Okay? I have a signature course on how to build your brand if you don't want to show your face. I think those of you that are afraid of your village people, you can buy that course when it comes out. That's just a joke. But this is a very, very serious thing that we need to observe, right? The era of faceless brand building is weakening very fast. People are buying into personalities before they buy into institutions. People invest in the founder of a business first before the business. If you are finding it hard to raise capital in your business, I can tell you for free, you need to build your own personal brand. Because before people can give money to your company, they need to believe in you first. Investors don't just believe in the books and the numbers. They need to know who you are. They need to know the team backing the project. They need to know the team backing the company. Okay? Let's move forward because I don't want us to waste so much time. One thing I'm going to tell you that I need you to go home with here right now is this statement. And this is one thing that you must not forget. And it is the fact that the future of branding is personal. I've been saying this for years now. The future of branding is personal. People are not going to follow you because of your company. People are not going to follow you. People are going to follow your company because of you. Did you get that? People are not going to invest in you because of your company. People are going to invest in your company because of you. The future of branding is personal. People do business with people first before they do business with businesses. The future of branding is not corporate first. It is human first. Human first, okay? So, now note this. I want to give you something very crazy right now. I need you to pay critical attention. Lend me your attention, please. You have a 2 to 3 year window to ride the wave and gain influence faster. Okay? Do you know why? The coming days will be brutal in the world of content. I kid you not. Let me show you some data so that you will understand what I'm saying. Let me show you some data. There are about 5 billion people, over 5 billion people that are active on social media right now. And the vast majority of these people have some form of curated content, which means they're either posting pictures, posting photos, posting just some sort of curated content, okay? Some sort of digital footprint. But you see, out of these 5 billion people, only 200 million are active creators. 200 million. This is crazy, guys. Of these 200 million, 140 million are micro creators with modest audiences, maybe less than 10K or let's say, that kind of thing. Okay, very modest audiences. While roughly 4 million have built major followings. 4 million. 4 million. Now look at this, guys. Look at this. Keep that number, 4 million. 4 million. Only 4 million people have built major following. I mean, you need to reflect on this for a minute. Only 4 million people. There are 5 billion people online, but only 4 million people, okay? Which is less than 1%. Less than 1% of the people on the internet. In fact, that's probably less than 0.5%, okay? Less than 0.5 people on the internet have been able to build large, major following. What does that signal to you? When you think of that number 4 million, this is what I want you to always remember. And it is the fact that this is an opportunity for you. Does that make sense? This is the time that you have to build your brand. You have to build your brand. So I was telling you guys, you have the next 2 to 3 years to build your brand. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of reasons, but I'm going to dive into that in a moment. All right, let's move on to the next disruption. Okay? The rise of AI-generated identities. And this is one of the reasons why you need to start creating your own content, because, I mean, it's going to get bloody. It's going to really, really get bloody. AI influencers are now creating content. AI influencers are now creating content. They are gaining massive following. They are participating in UGC marketing, user-generated content. I've seen unboxing videos by AI. I've seen comedy videos by AI that you wouldn't even know that this is artificial intelligence unless you're told. You wouldn't know. And guys, I'm telling you, that signals something very, very critical. Very critical is the fact that the competition is going to multiply. It's not going to increase arithmetically. It's going to increase geometrically. Are you getting that? Geometrically. So, these artificial intelligence influencers, these AI influencers are now driving engagement and influencing buying decision. So imagine when you want to create content, you need to take a day or 2 in the month to create content, and somebody can just build an AI avatar, right? And churn out 100 pieces of content in a day because it's a machine. Artificial intelligence cannot get tired, guys. This is really critical. Now look at this. This is an AI influencer online. You guys need to see this. This AI influencer has 7.6 million followers on Instagram. How many followers do I have? This is crazy, guys. This is AI. So cool. Thank you for that. You're welcome, everybody. I was just told that there are 17 people on the call now. Welcome. Thank you for that. 7.6 million followers. That's an AI. Okay? That's an AI. Talking about the fact that they no longer pay big influencers, quote and unquote, to influence for them and do their product, and all that. That they're not getting the returns. It was just a lot of bad. But that signals something. A lot of founders are creating their own content now. You see what I told you about human first, right? A lot of CEOs are now the one creating their own content. And this AI identities now is a big deal. It's a big deal. You can create an AI identity for yourself. People can do that. People can create a random AI identity and just start using it to create content. Okay? So influencer marketing is being redefined in real time. If you're an if you are an influencer, you need to begin to rethink your value because it's getting bloody. You need to change your approach. You need to offer more value than just making a post for people, okay? And authenticity is now becoming scarce. That's one bigger problem because when AI is now creating every piece of content, we don't even know what to trust. That is crazy. We don't know what to trust. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what to believe, okay? So let me show you guys this. Okay, I've talked about this. This means that, let me just give you this. This means content production will no longer be scarce because design, writing, and personality simulation, I talked about that. AI can now master your personality, okay? Personality simulation will become almost, if not perfect. Can you imagine that? It will be so perfect that you will not even be able to tell that this thing is AI, okay? And at the same time, it will be scalable because people can now create hundreds of content without having to spend so much money, number one, cost effective, speed, everything at the same time, volume, everything at the same time, okay? It will become, the future will become a battle of exceptionality and intellectual gravitas. And I say that only the genius will survive in the future. I don't want to stress this because I'll still talk about this. But in the future, only the genius will survive, okay? Now, average will become a deadly zone. And I need to say this, guys. AI is not coming to replace everybody. But AI is coming to replace average people. Okay? AI will replace average people, but not exceptional humans. Okay? If you're exceptional, you're safe. You're safe. All right. The third disruption, attention saturation. Attention is becoming harder to earn daily. You know that. Some of you make posts and you can't even, you see the likes and the comments, everything is just so low. Attention is becoming increasingly harder to get. Harder to get, okay? People are getting overwhelmed with unstructured knowledge because everybody's talking. Everybody is saying something. I was talking to someone some days ago and I was saying that, you're on Instagram and you see a video, a content creator says, you need to eat at least 6 eggs a day in order for you to get protein or whatever. And few videos after, you see another video that says, don't eat eggs. The yolk is killing you. And few minutes later, you see another content that says, eat only 1 egg per day. And the problem is, after consuming all this content, you can't even tell what is true. You can't tell what is true. The future will no longer reward visibility alone. That's it. Because attention will be the exclusive preserve of people who have the following ingredients, and I'm going to give them to you right now. One is the relevance of the value. Relevance means, is this thing really solving my problem? I'm not just going to watch your video because you're telling me whether to eat eggs or not. I'm going to watch your video because I've consumed content from you that is actually really relevant, that is changing me, that is doing something deep to me. I can see the results of what you're giving, okay? 2 is novelty of ideas. Are you saying something that everybody's already saying? Are you saying something that everybody's already saying, or are you saying something that is new? Something new. Depth of clarity. How much do you know this thing? How well do you know it? And how simple can you communicate this thing, okay? How simple can you? Conviction, right? Are you convinced about what you're telling me? Do you really know it enough? Are you sure of what you're telling me? Consistency of delivery. Do you deliver excellently every time? Okay? And then last is authenticity. So I'll just leave this. I know you guys get the point. The fourth disruption is what I call the era of the era of artificial influence is collapsing. Right? What is artificial influence? Artificial influence is the illusion of importance. The illusion of importance, okay? Relevance curated without value. That's artificial influence. You just share posts of people and all that, and that's all you do. We don't even know what you stand for, okay? Relevance curated without real value. Visibility manufactured through trends. The problem with riding the wave of trends is that it can give you temporary visibility. It's actually temporary because once the trend changes, everybody's going to forget you. How many of you remember artists that released songs that trended and that was the last time we heard from them? Because visibility is not enough to retain attention. It is not. It is not. Okay? Attention without trust. Okay? Attention without trust. That's what I just said. You need trust to retain attention, not just visibility. And identity built for algorithms instead of impact. You see, you build your identity not for the impact that you are here to create, but because of what the platform says. So no substance, okay? Before, the internet rewarded visibility without substance. No substance, like I said, before it was happening, but not now again, okay? The future is not going to reward you just for visibility, okay? The future is going to reward substance, real substance. And why is that? Is because people are becoming more and more skeptical, right? People are becoming more intelligent. People are becoming more emotionally aware, and they are very selective about who they trust. So they are not willing to give their attention for free, all right? Let's talk. Okay, yeah. The future will reward credibility. The future will reward originality. The future will reward demonstrated competence. Does that make sense? Demonstrated competence. The future will reward meaningful impact, meaningful contribution, and authentic authority. And I need to tell you these guys, authenticity is the new currency. I'm going to stress this a little later and tell you more about this. But in a day where artificial intelligence is now the order of the day, authenticity becomes the new currency, okay? Authenticity is the new currency. Now, let's move to the next disruption. If you are with me, please go to the comment section and just say, I'm with you, I'm following. Let me know the feedbacks, guys. Let me know the feedbacks. Say, I'm following. Okay? The fifth disruption, right? Big companies now want human content. This one is the crazy one, okay? Big companies like Facebook, all these big companies that you know, they now want human content. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. From UGC to founder-led content. How many of you remember the video that circulated of the founder of, I think it was McDonald's, right? He was eating a burger, right? And people say it's fake. And they said it actually spat it out of his mouth. That's crazy, right? Do you know that recently, the founder of Burger King started eating burger on camera? That's the founder of a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. He's now a content creator. Now, the question is, I want to make a very sarcastic statement because this is sarcasm, believe me. What is the hope of an average man when a billionaire becomes a content creator? That was not intended to offend you, right? But I know you get the point. You get the point. What is the hope, right, of an average person when a billionaire becomes a content creator? I mean, that's crazy. Okay, before we go there, let me show you this one. Okay, yes. These companies now want behind-the-scenes storytelling. They are doing a lot of that now. I think in the video I even saw of the CEO of Burger King, I think it was in the kitchen. Somebody actually made the burger. Behind the scenes. Raw communication and personality-driven engagement. They want it all. Every single thing. They want it all. Now, do you know why they want it? It's because, number one, this gives them lower cost of trust. Now, when you're paying an influencer, let's say an average influencer charges you $30,000, $50,000, this guy can pay smaller influencers, or even they themselves get on a camera. There's an incident I want to talk about, and maybe two. Okay, one is okay. There was a time that a car had an accident. Somebody had an accident in a car, and the person had a Stanley Cup, guys. How many of you know a Stanley Cup? right? This person had a Stanley Cup, and the Stanley Cup didn't burn or something like that. I can't remember. I think this thing, it was damaged, but the picture of the Stanley Cup actually showed in the picture that surfaced online. I'm not even sure now whether it's a Stanley Cup, but I know it's just one of those water kind of stuff. And the CEO of that company came online, guys, and told that person that we are going to replace your cup for free. They just used that opportunity. The founder created content, and that video went viral and racked millions of views. Do you know how much that company would have paid in order to reach that amount of people, or pay an influencer to get that kind of reach? It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. They want human content because lower cost of trust. What did that video cost the CEO of that company? Just sitting down, picking the phone, and speaking. That's probably one cup. And I think they even replaced the car. I'm not even sure, but I think they did. But then, you guys get the point. Number two is better ad performance, because companies now understand that human content has better engagement. So they want creatives that can actually create better engagement, okay? So better ad performance, better creatives for their ads, better engagement. They even want, they want deeper connection with their audience, deeper connection, because when people consume human content, it removes the facade of marketing. Did you get that? Excuse me. It removes the facade of marketing. That plasticity that you see on camera when a marketer shows up. You know, there's something I noticed. I'm going to tell you this, guys. I noticed that when brands pay influencers, are you with me? When brands pay influencers to market a product or sell their services or whatever, I noticed that most of the time, those videos don't do so well on the accounts of those people. And what do I mean? You see someone who would naturally have 1 million followers, 1 million likes. Ugandan, you guys know that guy on TikTok. This is the guy. This guy was recording videos like this and putting it on TikTok. And guess what, guys? This guy won an award for Social Media Influencer of the Year at the African Entertainment Awards USA with a smartphone. This guy won the Young Achievers Award as the Best Content Creator of the Year. That was his first African award. This guy you're seeing, right? He was also a nominee of the African Golden Awards. This same guy. He has deals, brand deals with, I'm sure of 2 confirmed brands. 1 car brand and 1 other brand like that. 2 confirmed. Now, let me show you one other one that will blow your mind, guys. You are not ready for this. You are not ready for this. Now, how many of you know this guy? Yes, that's Kabile. Okay? That's Kabile. Kabile recently sold his personality rights for $975 million, guys. $975 million. Come on. That's a valuation that some companies with thousands of staff don't have. One man with a smartphone. This is crazy, guys. One man. I think it was during COVID era I started creating those videos, and I think before that time it was said that he was a Walmart employee, if I'm correct, right? But this guy today is a billionaire. That's crazy, guys. Now look at this. Look at the endorsements that this guy has had in his career. Binance is one of the companies that he has endorsed Hollywood Studios, Hugo Boss, Airbnb. I mean, these are multinationals. These are big global companies. This guy has signed global brand deals just because, guys, just because he pulled out his smartphone and began to create. He's crazy guy. So, guys, let's go to the next one, and that's disruption 7. Culture is the new form of advertising. This one, a lot of people will not even understand it, but it's just crazy. Culture shaping is the new form of advertising. You see, if you are building a company now, you are not shaping culture, you are joking. The future is not for you. You are already behind schedule. I'm telling you the truth. And I must tell you that the future belongs to brands that shape culture, not the ones that interrupt it. Not the ones that just follow what every other person is creating. No. The future belongs to the brands that shape culture. Okay? And how do you shape culture? You must be the voice that defines identity, people's identity. You must be the voice. You must be the voice defining their aspirations, their sense of belonging. You must be the one shaping their world. Chocolates and all that growing up, they now became the new customers of a brand that didn't succeed some years ago. That's culture shaping. That's culture shaping. Okay? I want to speak to this in a moment, and I want to tell you that, see, everything we do, every single thing you do as a human being is something that was suggested to you by a brand. Something suggested to you by your ideas, your perception, your belief systems are being shaped by brands, companies, people, thought leaders, and all that. Those are the things that are forming the basis of what you think and what you know. There was a time people would not wear skinny outfits, right? Now women go to the gym with tight outfits because of Lululemon. It's crazy, guys. And there is something I want to speak to also. And it is the fact that I think this is going to help a lot of people on this call. Have you noticed that what people call bikinis that they wear at the beach, if you wear it in the house, you will say you are naked. But when you wear it at the beach, you are not naked. Culture is so powerful. There's a popular quote that says, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. Culture is powerful. If you can shape the way people think, if you can affect how they live, if you can change the way they interact, you are definitely going to have a hold of them. They would advertise you for free. They would advertise you for free. All right. For Africa, okay, I don't think I want to delve into this part, but I just want to say that one of the major sponsors of the current visibility that Africa is having right now is culture. People in Japan are now turning semo and eating egusi. I'm telling you guys, Nigerian jollof. You remember when the banter was happening online, the debate? Everybody was talking about Nigerian jollof, right? Culture, culture. Have you guys noticed that there's been more weddings in Africa recently? Yeah, white people coming to Africa to marry and dance in Lagos. I'm talking about Nigeria especially. More white people are now marrying Africans. Do you understand? Something is changing, culture, okay? Now listen to this, and I want to make this statement. The African soil is packed with minerals. That's true. But culture will travel faster than minerals. That's so powerful. Our unique taste, our culture, our music, our ideas, our design, our philosophy, right? And the stories that we tell, they are critical drivers of our prosperity as a continent. I mean, if you are familiar with the Africa 2063 agenda, right? You're familiar with it? I'm asking you guys. Africa 2063 agenda. Okay, I think many of you need to look it up. So it's about 7 agenda for the African continent. The last one is global participation or something like that. I can't remember, but it has to do with the image, the global image of Africa as a brand. Africa being part of the global conversation. There are 7 of them. You need to actually see it. You need to be aware. You need to know. Okay? Now, disruption number 8. We have just one more after this. Reputation is becoming a global asset, and we all know this. This is not even something far-fetched, okay? In the digital age, your reputation travels around the world even before you do, okay? There are many people you talk about today in Nigeria that have never, they don't even have any business being in Nigeria. But you talk about them. Their reputation travels fast, okay? Reputation travels fast. If you possess depth of value, strategic positioning, and digital visibility, you can access rooms globally. And that's what I'm talking about, okay? Because reputation is becoming a global asset. Perception matters now more than geography. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you can create the right perception, visibility will look for you. All right. Disruption 9. The speed of change is accelerating. This is probably the most critical one that you need to pay attention to. The speed of change is accelerating. Adaptation is no longer optional. It's survival. If you want to survive, you must be able to adapt fast in this time that we're in. Skills now expire faster. I was watching a podcast recently where a photographer was talking about how he has mastered portrait photography for 10 years. Isn't that heartbreaking? 10 years to master portrait photography. That was his area of concentration. And now, with one prompt, you can generate very crazy portraits. One prompt. So, adaptation is survival right now. So that guide needs to evolve. That's true. So I think I even wrote it here. Imagine being a portrait photographer for the past 10 years. Okay? And then now you can just use one ChatGPT prompt, one Google Nano Banana prompt, and generate a proper. Now, I have a friend who showed me some pictures recently. She was using it for her marketing and a brand and stuff like that. And I didn't know it was AI. I mean, she's my friend. I couldn't tell the difference. If not that she told me, I wouldn't have known. Trends are evolving faster. Platforms are algorithm are changing fast. Everything is changing fast. You need to be at the cutting edge of things. So adaptability is now a critical skill for survival and continual relevance. You must develop the skill of adaptation. All right. The future will reward your ability to learn and quickly, your ability to learn quickly and continuously. That's what the future will reward, right? Your ability to think deeply and strategically. Does that make sense? Your ability to build intentionally and experiment curiously and iteratively. So you must be a learner. You must be a learner. All right. What is the big idea behind all these things I just showed you? And that's what I'm going to give you in a moment. What is the big idea? The big idea is that we are moving from an attention economy to a relevance economy. That's so powerful. We are moving from an attention economy to a relevance economy. And what does that mean? It means people will no longer reward what they see. That's so powerful. I need that to sink in for a moment. People will no longer reward what they see. People will reward what truly improves their lives. A lot of people are getting tired. People are really getting tired. Everybody is talking. People are overloaded. They are fatigued. I even believe that the information, the access to information that we have in this day and time is part of one of the critical drivers of stress. Oh, yes. One of the critical drivers of stress. People are stressed. They don't know what is right from what is wrong, and they know a lot. So imagine the dilemma. So it's almost like the more you know, the more disadvantaged you are. Can you imagine the paradox? The more you know, the less wise you do. I don't know if there's any word like less wise. Right? It's almost like knowledge is becoming a curse. Eat egg. Don't eat egg. In fact, I saw a post one day. Someone said, maybe not a post, because I think I just had that idea. I don't even know where it came from. That if you eat enough eggs, you become hypertensive. Now, when I hit the gym, they told me to eat eggs for bulking. Who do I listen to? I mean, it's crazy, guys. In the coming days, only leaders who create authentic value and real impact will earn attention. Stress the word, earn attention, because nobody will just give you attention again. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. They will be the ones to earn attention. They will be the ones to compound influence. And these are the people that will become indispensable. People who create authentic value and real impact. You know, these words are not cliche. When you say authentic value, people just think about that surface value. We're talking about true value that impacts that changes people's lives. You know, recently something happened to me. A client of mine, true story, guys. A client of mine just sent me a random text. I mean, the project we did for her was last year, even though we are currently doing some projects with her right now. But what she was commenting on was a project we did last year. And she sent me a voice note praying for me. Can you imagine that? That when I look at my brand today, I just feel good. I feel glad. That's what she told me. And she was praying for me and she started crying. I have the voice notes. It's just I can't play it for you guys. She was crying on the call. So imagine the kind of impact that made a client call you 1 year later to thank you while crying. She's not crying because things are going bad. She's crying because she's seeing the results. I mean, authentic, genuine impact that truly transforms people's life. People's lives. If it's not changing people's life, don't offer it. Don't offer it. I like to say that every time. You must touch people in a way that is deep for them to actually listen to you, for them to pay attention to you. When they tell their story, the story will not be complete until your name is mentioned. That's impact. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, guys. People will only reward the things that truly improve their lives. That's so good. So what's the critical shift that you need to have here today? The old thinking, that's why everybody's on social media now. How do I get attention? Am I right? Everybody's online because they want attention. Am I right? Yes. Everybody's creating content because they want attention. How do I get attention? So they hire social media managers. They hire everybody. They are churning out content, and they are not getting the attention they are looking for. So the question is not how do I get attention? That's old thinking. Okay? New thinking says, how do I become relevant enough to be indispensable? Hi! That was deep. How do I become relevant enough to be indispensable? If you have not shared this link, please, I need you to share the link, share with a friend, share with somebody. This is the best you can give them this evening, okay? Share with them, let them join the conversation. Let them join the conversation, okay? How do I become relevant enough to become indispensable? All right. We're going to dive straight. Strategic indispensability. Strategic indispensability. And what that means is that you can strategically curate your relevance. You can plan to be relevant. You can be strategic about positioning yourself in a way that actually makes you indispensable to people. It can be designed. What that means is becoming indispensable by design. Does that make sense? Becoming indispensable by design. All right. This is the meat of our talk tonight. This is the meat of our conversation tonight. And it's what I call the 9 cardinals of future relevance. I need you to lend me your attention for the next few minutes, because this is where the thing is, the 9 cardinals of future relevance. If you get this tonight, I promise you, your business is going to change, your life is going to change, your work is going to change, everything is going to change. The 9 cardinals of future relevance. I call them the operating system for indispensability. You cannot be indispensable if you don't understand this. If you want to be indispensable, you need to understand these things that I'm about to show to you. Okay? That I'm about to show you. All right, let's dive straight in. Cardinal 1 is what I call intelligence. Intelligence. Now, let's break this down, okay? What does intelligence look like? Well, in a time that raw information is cheap, right? Anybody can just Google anything now, right? Knowledge is not really a problem. Not really a problem, okay? Have you noticed that the things that some of the consultants that you've met with, the things they're telling you, you even know some of the things, but you're not doing it. Information is cheap, okay? Knowledge is no longer a problem. But future leaders must become interpreters. Now, pay attention critically. Pay attention. Future leaders must become interpreters. And let me break this down. Interpreters are people, leaders who can think strategically, recognize patterns, right? Recognize patterns and turn raw information into insight. Does that make sense? Raw information, you can now turn it into insight that businesses can use, that people can use, that can, you can use those insights to build systems. Does that make sense? You can use those insights to build systems. You can use those insights to design frameworks and models that now solve real problems, real specific problems. Does that make sense? You have to use insight to build systems. Use insight to create frameworks and models that solve real problems, authentic real problems, authentic solutions. You must be an interpreter. Random, unstructured knowledge will no longer suffice in this day. And what do you do? Future leaders must become owners of intellectual properties and territories. Does that make sense? You must become owners of intellectual properties and intellectual territories. Those who will be relevant in the future will understand structured curation and ownership. Structured curation. Step-by-step process to achieving a result. What are the 5 things you need to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that can guarantee a specific outcome. Structured curation and ownership of ideas, right? When we talk about ownership, I'm talking about owning ideas, frameworks, and systems that can scale, systems that can spread and that can compound. Did you get that? Frameworks and systems that can scale, right? That can spread and that can compound. So I'm talking intellectual properties. You should not release something to the world if it's not yet your property, right? If it's not yet your property. So you write something on a post in Facebook that you're still working on, and somebody who is a bigger person, who has a bigger brand, sees they pick it from you, you can no longer claim it, okay? So, intelligence. Most people have information, but they lack the depth of intellectuality, and I'm going to show you something. The future will reward only those with intellectual gravity. You must know something and know it very deep. What is intellectual gravity? Let me explain. Intellectual gravity refers to the weight, seriousness, or profound significance of a person's thoughts. Profound significance of a person's thoughts, a person's arguments, their ideas. When people listen to you, do you sound like somebody who knows what he's talking about? Or are you shallow? Okay? Intellectual gravity. Number 2, identity. Now, this one is a serious one, okay? It's even more serious now. You must ask yourself, who are you? Who are you? I think this is one of the most difficult questions for most people to answer. If I say, tell me who you are, what will you say? Most times when they say, who are you, what you say is your job description. When they say, who are you, you say, I'm a brand consultant. Who are you? I'm a brand strategist. Who are you? I'm a brand expert. Who are you? I'm a this, I'm a that. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are your values? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? Have you been able to communicate that to us? What do you stand for? What emotional territory do you own? What that means is when people think of you, what comes to mind? Right? What emotional territory do you own? What comes to mind when we are thinking of you? What is the meaning and essence of your brand? Let me show you guys something. I say it every time that your brand is not your logo. Aha. I know that. Somebody just said, what? Yes. Your brand is not your logo. Let me say one that will touch you even more. Your brand is not your face. I know somebody is there in the comment section like, what's happening here? Your brand is not your face. As a nation, your brand is not your flag. You buy a Nigerian flag, you are waving. It's not your flag. That's not your brand. It's not even your color palette. Because this is what everybody talks about. When we say you are building a brand, this is the thing, a logo, this thing. But I'm going to show you guys something. Your logo is a mark of identification. Did you get that? Mark of identification. It is a symbol through which we can identify and remember you. Does that make sense? Did you get that? Do you want me to repeat it? Your logo is a mark of identification. Your logo is a mark that we can use to remember you. Do you understand? That we can use to identify you. What that means is that if there is no you, there is nothing to identify. Does that make sense? If there is no you, there is nothing to identify. That's why I define you, YOU, as your own uniqueness. So your logo is how we actually remember, right, your own uniqueness. It's just a mark. All these elements, your face, I say it every time, your face is not your brand. Do you know why? You can do plastic surgery and change your face. It doesn't change the brand. Is that not true? Oh, yes. I'm tempted to say something, but I control myself. I was about to say, ladies wear makeup. It doesn't change the brand. But I've said it. You can crucify me now. Okay? Your flag. There are nations that exist today that is actually a combination of one or two nations. They came together, or maybe cities who joined together and became a nation, which means the flag changed over time, right? You can change your logo, you can rebrand. You can change your color palette, right? All these elements are things we can use to identify you. It is not your brand. Did you get that? So these are elements of identity. They are not the identity itself. Now, look at this, guys. I want to break your bubbles with this. Do you know these companies? I'm sure you do. This is Nike, Adidas, Facebook, and Binance. Now, when you become a new CEO or the founder of a new business, right, and you want to design a logo for your brand and all that, and you're talking to your designer, most of the times, people always refer to the big companies, right? These multi-billion-dollar franchises and companies and all that. People are talking about Nike. We're working on a brand recently, and we were benchmarking the brand against Nike, Adidas, and the likes. But this is what people fail to forget. Let me tell you what people fail to forget. Everybody wants an iconic logo like this. But they've forgotten that behind these iconic logos are billion-dollar valuations and trillion-dollar valuations. Nike is worth $33.7 billion. Adidas is worth $38 billion. That's what the brand is worth. Facebook is worth $1.6 trillion. Binance is worth over $100 billion. Trust me, guys. That is the reason why you want your logo to look like them. Because when last did you benchmark your company logo against a business that is not succeeding? When last? You will not pick a business that is not succeeding and use their logo as a benchmark for designing your own brand. It doesn't make sense. The only reason why you want them is because of the valuation that is backing them. So you see the point. The logo is not just a logo in itself. It is a testament of the achievements of the brand. So when you design a new brand, when you're just starting your brand, the logo is meaningless. Trust me. When you create your logo day one, the logo is meaningless. The associations that people now have with that logo, the things that come to mind when they see that logo, will now be the product of your curation and the product of your brand building process. So as you create content, right? When you make a post, when your company does its IPO, when you raise funding, the logo begins to carry weight. Many years ago in Nigeria, we didn't know OPE. OPE came to Nigeria. We didn't know Money Point. When Money Point started, I'm sure if you ask the founder of Money Point, there were people who didn't invest even after I pitched the idea. Right? Most likely. But when he raised the funds and all that, last year, I saw a post a friend of mine made that MoneyPoint actually processed up to 80%, if I'm correct, 80% of the transactions that happened in Nigeria, one brand. Now you will now carry MoneyPoint logo and give it to your designer and they say you want to benchmark against the logo. The logo is not the problem. The real company, the company itself on ground is the problem. So the identity is not the logo. The identity is the carrier of that identity is what really matters. Okay? All right. What they forget is the billion and trillion dollar valuation behind these brands. So the real question is what comes to mind when we think of you? That's your identity. Anything that people think about when they think of you, that is your identity. All right, let's speed it up. The third one is innovation. Please, guys, let me know when I have exactly 30 minutes left. Okay? When I have exactly 30 minutes left. 30 minutes. When I have 30. I have 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Are you serious? 15 minutes? Jesus. Okay, let's continue. I'll round it up. Don't worry, guys. Innovation. That's number 3. Africa cannot copy its way into relevance. You know, we have a way of cherishing foreign ideas, right? If it's foreign, then it makes sense. If it's a foreign brand, then it's cool. You're paying $10,000 for a handmade bag. Meanwhile, your friend can also do a handmade bag. Now, I'm not saying, sorry guys, I'm not saying that the $10,000 bag is not better than what your friend is producing. I'm just saying there is a conditioning that we have as a continent, right, to value things that are made outside the space. I mean, somebody can literally go and pack bags from Tunisia and come to Nigeria and say, these are Tunisia bags, and sell it for 5 times the price, just because it's outside Nigeria. Just because it's outside. Do you get what I'm saying? Somebody can go to, I don't want to mention any country's name. Let it not look like I'm talking them down, right? But it doesn't have to be US, Canada, or any country. Just let it be foreign. Africans love it. But you see, Africa cannot copy its way into relevance. I noticed that even when people are building, real estate companies, for instance, I see that we're trying to copy what Western people are doing. The designs, everything is Western. Why don't you build for us? Right? Build for Africans. Most of the houses they are building, they are not made for Africans. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not a real estate person, but it's just my opinion, okay? But the future African leaders must cherish originality. Yes. Because the Africa you are trying to run away from, the world is coming to it. It's crazy. Do you know how many companies are investing in Africa right now? I saw a video earlier where Vusi was talking and he was saying that the future of Africa is not tomorrow, it's now. The future we are talking about is already here. People are coming to Africa, it's not people are coming, they are here already. Do you know how many? Ope is not a Nigerian business. Oh yes, Ope is not a Nigerian business. It's not. But see the amount of money they are making in Nigeria. And you can see lots of, now when most of us want to, let's say when you want to propose to your babe-to-be, you take them to a fine dining restaurant, which almost 90% of them are not even Nigerian. So once there is a Lebanese guy in that restaurant, you think it's 5-star. What we call a 5-star restaurant, say most of them are not 5-star. Trust me, guys. Most of the fine dinings we have in, let me talk about Abuja, in the city of Abuja, most of them are not 5-star restaurants. They are not. They are upscale restaurants. They are not. Do you know what a 5-star experience is? You buy pasta for 25,000, you say it's 5-star. What do you mean? I mean 25,000 naira is not 5-star. What you are calling 5-star is skin color. It's just the white guy. A white guy that was probably confused in his own nation before he came to your nation, that you are probably more intelligent than. Come on. Future African leaders must cherish originality. We must place a premium on original thinking, right? We must deploy creativity into our execution frameworks. How can we create something that is made for us? Made for Africans by Africans. Made for the world by Africans. Okay? We must create bespoke solutions. What that means is new tailor-made solutions, right? New combinations of existing ideas and brand new ways of doing things. We must embrace innovation in Africa. Brand new ways of doing things. All right. I will talk about this quickly, and then I'll skip the next one. Courage is critical to innovative thinking. I found out that the problem with many people is not because they don't have cutting-edge ideas, but they are not courageous enough to put it out. I found out I've met a lot of intelligent people in my life. And I mean it. I mean Africans. I'm not talking about foreign people. Africans. Courage is critical to innovative thinking. We must develop the audacity to push boundaries. Do you understand? To push the boundaries of existing ideas. Somebody should look at what a Western company is doing and say, there is a fault in this thing. And you are African. And I want to correct this error I'm seeing in what this global organization is building. It takes audacity to do that. Rather than just embrace the standards. Let me talk about that in a moment. The reason why many people don't innovate is not because they can't. It's because they are too afraid to challenge already existing ideas, especially Western ideas. The next generation of brand leaders must challenge ideas. They must set new standards. They must create new categories. Who told you must describe yourself by what everybody has been saying? They must create new categories, and they must discover blue oceans. Does that make sense? We must innovate. Number 4, influence. I'm going to be very fast with this because I need to beat my time now. Visibility alone cannot create influence. Yeah, virality alone cannot retain attention. Yes, we all know this. I think I've spoken to this. Thank you. Future African leaders must earn influence through trust, consistency, and competence. I've talked about this, right? Through trust, competence, and consistency. All right. If you want to be relevant in the future, build intellectual authority before seeking mass attention. You know what we have now is that from the moment you just start something, you are online. You see? Build intellectual authority before seeking mass attention. Number 5 is infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, I'm talking teams, I'm talking systems, I'm talking documented processes, right? I'm talking platforms, assets, distribution pipelines, okay? Networks, tribes, I'm talking communities, I'm talking ecosystems. I'm talking audiences, right? Let me tell you 4 types of infrastructure you have to build if you really want to build something phenomenal. 1 is physical infrastructure. You must have facilities, equipment, resources, everything needed for you to deliver excellently. You're a graphic designer, you need a MacBook, and all that. Just tools, okay? Facilities, equipment, space, all those kind of things. Physical infrastructure, you also need digital infrastructure, okay? You need platforms, you need websites, you need media assets, you need distribution channels. You need it, okay? You need organizational infrastructure. Now, here, we're talking about teams, we're talking about processes, organizational processes, standard operating procedures. This is how things are done. That's how we do it. This is the blueprint for this organization in terms of culture and all that. You need systems that work. And you need social infrastructure. That's the last one. Social infrastructure. You need community. You need networks. You need strategic partnerships. You need ecosystems. All right. Future leaders must build the structures that enable value to be created, distributed, and sustained. Distributed, sustained, and scaled. Okay, I think we can just skip all this because I've already made my points. Next is integration. This is pretty simple. There's something happening right now that I call the promotion of hybrids, okay? Interdisciplinary leaders. That's when you see a founder who is also a content creator. That's a hybrid. That's a hybrid, okay? You are seeing an engineer who is also a storyteller. Does that make sense? That's a hybrid. You are seeing a designer who is also a strategist. That's a hybrid. You are seeing a content creator who is also a sales expert. That's a hybrid. So what I'm pointing at is that these hybrids will have the capacity to integrate 2 or more disciplines to create something new that the world has not seen before. Does that make sense? And the reason is because they see the world differently. When you are interdisciplinary, you begin to see things differently. Your approach to what you do changes because of your exposure. So interdisciplinary leaders. Number 7 is authenticity. Authenticity is the alignment between identity, communication, and contribution. That's authenticity. So Being authentic is not about just being real. You know, if you say be real. No, it's not be real. It is the degree to which in which who you are, what you say and what you do are consistent and congruent. Does that make sense? So that is what authenticity is. Authenticity is not being unfiltered. Okay? I unfollowed somebody one time because he uses a lot of F words. Okay? That's not authenticity. Yeah. It's not being unfiltered. It is not being unprofessional. It has nothing to do with saying everything you think. That's not authenticity. That's foolishness in many cases. I will say what I think. Some opinions are stupid. It's true. Yeah. Okay. I think we've talked about this. So next one is evolution. And this one is very critical. This last two is the most important. And if you get this, it's going to change your life. When disruptions happen, many valuable people become obsolete. Is that not true? Yeah. Many valuable people become obsolete. Only those who adapt stay relevant. Only those who adapt stay relevant. Future leaders must evolve fast. It's not just about evolving, it's about evolving fast. You must do it quickly. Now, a lot of people are talking about AI. AI is doing designs, and graphic designers are complaining AI cannot. AI will do your work. Start learning how to use AI to do the design. Don't say AI cannot design the kind of flyers. That is a lie. AI will design better flyers than you in the future. It will happen. Who knew that this could happen? If you were told 10 years ago that a tool will come that will design, you will say it's a lie. But this is happening. You see? So you must find how to integrate AI into your work. In the future, relevance will not belong to the strongest or the smartest, but to those who evolve the fastest. Early adoption. Don't wait for it to spend 10 years before you tap in. You'll be late. You understand? Constant evolution is one of the biggest secrets to sustaining relevance. That's the takeaway point here. Constant evolution is this biggest secret to sustaining relevance. Number 9. This is the most important one on this list. The most important cardinal. And it's what I call impact or results. Because ultimately, every other thing we've talked about is a performance if there are no results, right? Oh, yes. If there are no real results, you cannot be relevant if your presence changes nothing. It's not possible. Nobody likes you for your face. You can't be relevant if your presence changes nothing. Your relevance is directly tied to the change that happens in your presence. The future will reward only authentic value that creates real impact. Oh my God, that's so powerful. I need somebody to go and type in the comment section and say, I will be relevant. I will be indispensable. I will be relevant. Just put it in the comment section. Oh yes, so with this, I think I have been able to make my presentation. Have we maxed out the time? 2 minutes. You guys should clap for me. I hit the time. I tried. That was good. 90 minutes and we're able to hit it on the head, even though we started a little late. Thank you guys for joining. But then we had an agreement that if I deliver on the freemium, you will stay for the premium. So let me assume that you're going to stay, right? So every single one of you commented that you were going to stay. I need you to go back and comment again, rather. Go and comment and say, I'm here. I want to hear it. Because in July this year, I'm going to be having another signature curation, right? Now, this time it's paid. It's not free. That's what I'm going to be telling you. See? Okay? So I'm going to be having another signature curation called the Brand Leadership Masterclass. Okay? So the Brand Leadership Masterclass is a strategic intelligence experience that I've curated for leaders, for founders, for entrepreneurs. Okay? So I'm going to be sharing with you on a theme I call the architecture of sovereignty. Today, I have taught you about relevance. In that session, I'm going to show you how to even transcend relevance to sovereignty. There is a point you get to where you don't compete. You become a class of your own. That's so powerful, right? You become a class of your own. In that place, I will be teaching, during the masterclass, right, I'll be teaching you how to build brand power for multiplied impact, multiplied influence, and multiplied wealth. It's going to be such an amazing experience. 25th of July, 2026 in the city of Abuja. And there's going to be a virtual session for some of you, joining out of Abuja, probably out of Nigeria. But then I'm going to show you why this information matters, because I decided that being on this call today, if you are here tonight, I'm going to give a maybe 2 to 3 hours discount. I know that's crazy, right? Because by 11:59 tonight, the prices are going to change. But I'm going to show you what I have here today. For the virtual ticket, it's 100,000 naira, but I'm giving a 50% discount today. Only tonight. So if you check by 12 a.m., 12.00, you will see the actual price, which will be the early bird price, maybe 75,000 naira. Okay? We have about 4 tickets, but we're only discounting 2 right now. All right. For the standard ticket, which is 200,000 naira, we'll be charging only 120,000 naira. Only 120,000. And that's going to be at a 40% discount. Okay? 40% discount. So if you're going to tap into any of these offers, you have to do it tonight. Okay? Because by 12, the 120,000 will go back to 150,000. All right. So like I said, early bird registration will start tomorrow morning. We're announcing this event officially tomorrow morning. So it's crazy. I'm super pumped up. Last year we gathered, I think over 60 people were available last year, and it was massive. It was mind-blowing. We had a virtual edition. We had a physical edition. Like, it was crazy. We spent the whole day together, literally 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. It was crazy, right? So this year you need to be there, all right? So if you want to take any of this offer, go straight to nuelpeters.com/BLM. That's acronym for Brand Leadership Masterclass, right? You'll see all the details there. It's just for tonight, like I said. Scan the QR code and book this discount before morning. And if you are not taking that, you can jump in on the early bird. It's always fine, okay? All right, with this, we have come to the end of Brands and the Future of Africa 2026. Of course, we are going to be doing this soon again this year, because this particular edition of Disruption, I only taught you phase 1 of the curation. So there is the next edition that I'm going to be doing. I call it the art of genius. I'm going to be breaking down what it takes to be a genius, because I have a quote that says, "Genius is rarely born. It is often designed." You can be a genius by design. Nobody was born a genius. It does not exist. All right. Thank you, everyone. This is my free community. You can take a screenshot. You can join that community using that link on Telegram. Every other detail, the flyer for this event, the links, everything will be on that platform. We're going to put it on the platform for you to see. And on my social media handles. Just go there, and I will see you in the masterclass in July. All my energy now is in that. For the next 2 months, we're marketing, okay? I will see you on that day. Invite people, okay? And thank you for coming. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. If you are still here till this time, I want you to go to that comment section and just give a feedback of what your experience is like on this session. I'll see you guys in July. Thank you very much.